Hello, friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to come to you very quickly with another story from Dark World Light Work. This is not from the book, but this is just from my life, and it's a cute little story about myself and my grandmother that I thought I would tell. As you may know, if you have been following along here, I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I grew up basically in the 90s and the 80s. I was young. In the 90s, I was a young adult, and I turned 21 on September 21st, 2001. And I grew up in Las Vegas, but I didn't have a typical Las Vegas upbringing because really nobody in my family was in the hospitality industry. Nobody really worked in a casino. My mother was the only person who worked in a casino, and she worked in claims. So she was basically in the corporate section. So I didn't have that sort of like flashy Vegas upbringing. I went to Hebrew school and a Christian school and mostly hung out with my grandmother. And because I grew up in the 90s, most of the nightclubs had been placed in casinos by the 1990s. And so it was virtually impossible, and it still is, to sneak into a club in Las Vegas with a fake ID. Now, when my mom's generation was younger, it was easier because the clubs were basically in strip malls. But in my generation, it was strictly enforced because these clubs would have gaming license, liquor license, and all these entities to answer to if they allowed somebody underaged into the clubs. So I never snuck into clubs. The first time I went into a club was on my 21st birthday, completely legally, except for the fact that I used to sneak into the clubs occasionally with my grandmother. Now, this is a really funny story. My grandmother worked in customer service at Cox Communications, which is, a cable company. And she had a lot of friends that were gay men. And one of this guy's name was Alan. And Alan and his boyfriend had the most fun life. Like, they were always hosting game nights, trivia nights, Christmas parties, Halloween parties, costume parties. Alan had a pig, a miniature pig that was actually 85 pounds, and his name was Hamlet. And he used to be like the mascot at the parties. He would put him in a little tie and he would walk around greeting people. It was so much fun. And so for several weekends for many years, my grandmother and I used to sneak into the gay clubs on karaoke night with Alan and his boyfriend and her other friends from work. And we used to have so much fun. I would sing. My grandmother never sang. She would sing from the audience, and I would get up and sing. We would do duets of show tunes, me and the boys. And it was so much fun. And the only time I ever snuck in to anything in Las Vegas underaged was when I was like 15, 16, 17 years old, and I snuck into the gay clubs for karaoke night with my grandmother. That is how special of a woman my grandmother was and is. And the kind of relationship that we had, it was a tremendous amount of fun. We had a lot of fun like that for almost 40 years, and it was a really great time. And memories like that are what keep me going through the difficult times, because they are what they call these days core memories, and they are just so fantastic and so beautiful that, nothing else can really come in and mess that up. Aquí nada duele, baby. All right, that's light work, baby. Love you. Bye.